From St. Cloud, Florida, this is the Phoenix Rising Radio Network.
We have a 9-year-old girl in the studio. No, she's not being held hostage.
She wanted to come here. Who are you?
Brooklyn. Everything's better with me in it.
Welcome to the Doc Show, Coast to Coast, with Doc Holliday.
Every newsman in the city's laughing at us.
Well, she's weird, and you're awkward.
We're a great match, right?
Perfect couple.
And I don't like it.
Weeknights, 6 to 9 p.m. Eastern.
I have been telling you since you were 4 years old. It's okay to be smarter than everybody, but you can't go around pointing it out.
Smarter than you.
Yeah, right. 50-year-old.
I'm not 50.
Give Doc a call, 407-498-3193.
You know, if we did a shot every time they said something embarrassing, this would be one hell of a drinking game.
So I look old to you?
Middle-aged.
What is middle-aged to you?
About 60, 70.
Jeez.
I'll get the vodka.
What do you get when you cross a highly outspoken individual with the power of radio? Well, you still get the highly outspoken Doc.
The facts are that Barack Obama is not a Christian.
Do you have proof? I'm asking you because when I'm investigating something, I use proof.
Well, there's a lesson for you.
Welcome to the Doc Show, Coast to Coast, with Doc Holliday.
Bye. Bye. Love. Bye-bye, love. Bye.
I can't do this way much longer, expecting to survive. With all this hidden innuendos just waiting to arrive. It's such wavy midnight and you slip into insane. Let's get into rock and roller. I hear what you're playing. It's orange inside. Always it's some other guy. It's just a broken alibi.
Bye-bye.
Bye, bye love.
I love you, but
Bye, bye love.
I don't care how fun you are.
Bye, bye love.
But I'm gonna hit the road.
Bye, bye love. Substitution, mass confusion. Now inside your head.
I'm sorry you caught me between slurps.
Sorry, I didn't realize you were slurping as I was
Well,
potting it down.
this ice cream is, or this coffee
Yeah.
from Dunkin' Donuts has frozen up on me. So I'm gradually sticking my straw and coming up with, like, below the iceberg.
They were really apologetic that they had no mocha for you.
Yeah, what's the deal with that?
They ran out. Everybody likes mocha. And it's not this, it's not the workers' fault. This, Dunkin' Donuts, whoever owns it or manages it, doesn't do a very good job.
And they're always out of stuff.
Yeah, but they got rid of the nasty girl. I don't know if she quit or they fired her, but she was nasty.
what was she like?
She didn't want to be there. And I get it. It's not a glorious job, you know? I understand.
Mm-hmm.
But you applied for it so that you could get a paycheck. So you should embrace your job that you have with everything you have, right?
Well, you took the job.
Correct.
Now, if you don't like the job,
You shouldn't have taken it.
pretty much, you know.
So she was just always mean, and she would always give me attitude, and I would say thank you, and she'd never say you're welcome. Nothing. So I have not seen her, which clearly means that because I'm always in that Dunkin' Donuts, clearly means she's probably fired. The guys in the afternoons during the week, though, they're amazing. Like yesterday, the guy said to me, "Ha calling you ain't mocha," because on the order yesterday I didn't put it in on the app because you text me too late. I was already on the road, but whatchamacallit,
Well, instead of 2 large
but
coffees, I got 2 midget coffees.
well, that was my fault. Now I take full responsibility for that because I was putting it in. I was putting it in the app because I get points and free coffees using the app, whatever. And with as much as you drink these things,
And it keeps you awake, and it keeps you in a good mood.
well, yeah, and as much as you use these things, or drink these things, then, I use the app. I might as well get free coffee, right? I mean, might as well. So the other day when I put it in on the app, I made the mistake. I forgot to put everything that I needed to put in, and then it only took small, and that was my fault. Today I got you the right ones.
Yes.
Except there was no mocha because they ran out of mocha. And if I tell you, this man was so apologetic. He was like, we saw your order come through. We knew it was coming through. I was like, this is so bad. Doc has got me to be the predictable Dunkin' Donuts lady. I'm like, he's going to have to start coming and getting his thing. Because the thing is, when you put in the order on the mobile app, it's linked to, like, you can pay so that you can just pick it up, which is amazing. In the mornings, I will do that, but I will, like, go in and pick it up because I don't want to hold up somebody's drive-through by, like, waiting to pick up an order. But, like, in the afternoons when it's not busy, I don't mind picking it up through the drive-through. And you just bypass everybody, go up to a window, be like, boom, can I have my order? And it's so funny, like, yo, Samantha B. ate mocha. Like, this is so pathetic. They know me because of Doc's frozen chocolate mocha stuff. And he offered me, and he was so nice about it too. He's like, listen, ma'am, I know how much you love the mocha. Everybody loves the mocha. We ran out of mocha. I am so, so sorry. So I haven't made the drinks yet. Can I entice you in French vanilla, hazelnut, caramel? I was like, honestly, I don't think he likes any of that. I said, I really don't know.
I don't like caramel.
And I didn't think you'd like vanilla.
No, because it's vanilla. There's no taste.
So I said, no, go ahead and make it just the way you normally make it. I said, today we'll put some whipped cream on top of it. Maybe it'll make up for the mocha. He said, whipped cream? I was like, oh, I know it's not chocolatey. I was like, but, maybe whipped cream makes everybody happy. So maybe it'll just make him happy.
You got to chase it.
Oh, jeez.
Because it melts.
Yeah, well, that is true. That is true. So he's like, well, in addition to that, we're going to give you some donuts. Little did I know some donuts was like a half dozen. Here's the thing. So like a half dozen donuts is like $6 now. I really don't think the mocha that they didn't have was valued at $6. So I thought that was very nice that he was giving donuts, a half dozen Valentine donuts.
He's going to bankrupt them.
They were probably, well, they're only open till 10. So they were probably going to waste half of them anyway. And when I say waste, I don't mean like, oh, they go to waste. I mean, like they actually have to count them and then ditch them after they count them. And that's how they keep track of how many donuts they need, how much they throw out, things like that.
Okay, so this is
Oh, your Valentine. It's It's story time with Doc Holliday. Here is your holiday story. Valentine's Day,
none of your business. But I had I'd say a pretty serious relationship.
How old were you, Doc?
16, 17.
You were a strapping young lad.
I was. And this young lady, I'll just say her name's Helen.
Was it really Helen?
Yeah.
Well, that's not nice. What if Helen's listening?
I doubt it. She actually...
It went bad that quick, huh?
No, her parents ran the Baldwin Funeral Home.
Oh, those are big up north.
Man, let me tell you.
Yeah, Baldwins are big.
I never paid for a thing. And I offered to.
You offered to pay for things?
Yeah, I said, let's get some pizza. It's on me. And she goes, well, don't worry about it. Sometime in the time I sat down to the time the check came, she had paid.
So she paid for everything? Always?
Yeah.
She never let you be a man?
Oh, she let me be a man.
Boy. Oh, boy. Do you guys get offended by that sometimes when they can't pay for things? Or not when they can't, but like if a woman like is constantly like, I can pay my own way.
No, I think it's a good thing.
You think it's a good thing that women say that?
As long as, eventually you can pay for stuff.
That's what I'm saying, though. Like, if a woman always says to you, like, if you're in a relationship, and you know this is like total sidebar, but like if you're in a relationship and you're dating somebody, let's say, and you want to pay for something, but they're always like, no, I got mine, and then always get yours just because. Do you guys get offended by that? Like, does it bother you? Does it make you feel less of a man if you don't pay for things sometimes?
No. She just has a way of making me feel like a man.
Okay.
So I was in my...
So you yourself, and let me clarify this, you yourself have no desire to be... so it doesn't bother you if you can't... Not if you can't. I shouldn't say can't. So it doesn't bother you if you don't cover the check.
Well, eventually as I saw our future...
At the ripe age of 17.
Yes. that would all change. So, it's February the 14th, 19, none of your business. And I'm at the radio station. It was 3 o'clock. And the afternoon guy he got drunk. So he didn't come in.
Oops.
So by 4 o'clock, the midday guy was, crapping himself.
And people wonder why radio has such a bad reputation.
And finally, the woman that ran the station, Mrs. Ventresca.
Wow, you remember her name.
Oh, yeah. They were hard to forget. They fired me 4 times.
Only 4?
Yeah.
Did the last one stick?
You know what? With the last termination, I had then picked up the skill of air checking yourself, editing it, and then, finding radio stations and sending them off.
That amazes me that you used to do your own production and air checks.
Absolutely.
Gosh, how could we change that?
And I sent it. I got a Billboard magazine, and I sent it to the wanted, DJ. And I got a call back from this station in Texas. And I was on my way. But
first came Valentine's Day.
And this guy, this afternoon guy, he just wasn't going to come in. And at the same time, the night guy called in, and he had worms or something. I don't know.
Worms?
I don't know what he had. I didn't talk to him. So
he had worms.
The
You
afternoon
probably
guy.
wouldn't want him to come in.
The afternoon guy calls Mrs. Ventresca, who lived out of the listening range of the station. She goes, "Oh, I can't have you working, middays till 12 noon. Who else is there?" And she said, "I was there." And she always complimented my voice, but she said,
You had terrible work ethic.
"No, it's not time yet."
Oh, because you were a young, strapping lad.
No, I don't know what she meant. But, so, I continued to help produce the shows and take out the trash, just things that...
So you're like kind of like the gopher.
Yeah. So, he hands the phone to me, and I put it in my ear, and I go, "Hi," and she goes, "Okay, here's your big chance."
Did she really speak like that?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
I used to be able to do it really good, but so-and-so years have passed by. And we don't have anybody coming in, and, well, that's how it works in this business. Right place, right time. Will you do 4 to midnight?
Oh.
And I said, "Are you kidding?" "Yes." She goes, "No. What I want you to do is get familiar with the board and getting your segues ready."
This is like the holy grail for you.
It was. And at the top of the hour, you say, "WKQV, FM 92.1, in stereo, in Vineland."
Vineland, New Jersey.
Yeah. And that's all I needed to hear. I said, "Ma'am, I'll make you proud." She goes, "Well, at least you showed up. That's one. That's one for you." So my heart was racing, and it was 5 till 4, and then it struck me.
Mm-hmm.
That night was the Valentine's Day dance at Willingboro High School. And we had purchased tickets.
Right.
For the right to come in, smooch, fight, and do whatever they do.
Smooch, fight.
I saw people, getting into fights.
That's not uncommon.
And
it can happen. Young love.
It struck me. Today's what? Don't tell me it's the 14th. Don't tell me. Shit! Because I didn't want to call and tell her. It was too late. And I would have said yes to radio and no to the dance at any time. I call her up and I said, "Hey, what's up?" She's going, "What's happening, good looking?" And I said, "Oh, we're just sitting there thinking about you. Now I can't stand up." I said, "Oh, I'll help you out when you come over to pick me up." Something about that. Well, what's wrong, baby?
Oh, what's wrong, baby?
Just by the grace of God, I was here at the radio station. Yes, I know, I love radio. I said, "Well, now, your family business never stops."
Well.
You know,
People have to stop in order for it to flourish, but yeah, sure.
It became Baldwin Fairchild.
Yes, it
after
did.
a while. And she goes, so I said, listen, 2 DJs didn't show up today. And the big madam that runs the radio station asked me if I would fill those shifts. And this right here is the start of my career. I know it. I feel it. And I have to take the job. Wow.
That was the end.
You should have heard her. She was like, oh, so what am I supposed to do? Go by myself?
Well, okay, here's problem number 1.
I said you could.
You're dealing with a 17-year-old.
Mm-hmm.
And at 17, we're not always rational. You know, we're very emotional at 17. Like, oh, you know,
This was the devil.
Was she the devil before the dance?
No.
Okay, well then clearly she wasn't the devil. She was just devastated. She probably had her dress ready. She probably was getting her hair done, maybe getting her nails done. And she was like really excited that she was going to go with her boyfriend to the dance. And she, you know, we get excited about these things. We can't help it as women. But when you're 17, you don't have the concept of, oh, this could be career changing.
She didn't feel it like I felt it. Because, you know, I discussed as we were coming up on our senior year what I wanted to do when I graduated. And I said, since I was 5 years old.
She didn't think you were going to graduate. That was probably part of the problem.
Or she thought I'd come work at the funeral home, which I never set foot in.
That's a special kind of, no, not everybody can do that.
I can't, well, she was just a greeter. You know, she would greet
This reminds me
people.
of that movie, My Girl. Do you remember that movie, My Girl?
No, I never saw it.
Ah, that was when Macaulay Culkin was small, really, really small little kid. And his best friend was, Dan Aykroyd was in it too. And it was a family funeral home. And he owned it. His wife had passed away and he was raising his daughter, Veda, in the funeral home. And that's like what she did. She was the greeter, and like death never bothered her because she would see her dad embalming people. And Jamie Lee Curtis was in it too.
Mm-hmm. Well, she started screaming.
She was upset.
And I was like, look,
you broke her heart.
I know it's the Valentine's Day dance, but this too shall pass.
Not to her.
She never spoke to me again.
I probably wouldn't speak to you either. I mean, she
didn't answer 17. My calls. Because she had a special, different phone line in her bedroom. I didn't even know a regular.
She got all empowered. She probably went home and was listening to Aretha and said, "You can give me some respect." This is the woman's empowerment song.
You know, this song wasn't even out yet.
It had to have been. This was the 60s, wasn't it?
Wasn't this the Blues Brothers?
Yeah, but Aretha did it like a little bit before
I think
that.
More people remember this from Belushi and Aykroyd and the Blues
You're probably right.
Anyway, so, you know.
Whoa.
A while before that happened.
She was just asking for a little respect, man.
And she goes, I got all dressed up. And I was going to do that special thing you like. And all of a sudden it strikes me. Radio? or that special thing I like. I say, honey, why can't we do both?
Because you weren't taking her to the dance. And at that point, she realized she was paying for everything up until, you know. See, you should have sold her on the deal that now I can start paying for things, honey.
She called me an asshole,
Oh.
a cheater, a liar. I said, well, you turn radio on, you can hear me. And then, of course, I realized it was only the top hour I did. You know, so she turned it on.
She just wanted some respect.
For I said, I'll do anything. I'll do anything to make this up.
She was going to sock it to you, right? Not in a good way.
She'd have given me a black eye if this had happened in person. And she just dog cussed my ass. She goes, I know you don't like Valentine's Day, so you just made this up. I said, no, I didn't.
You know what happened, Doc? She did not bring you a ribeye shaped like a heart.
No, that's true.
If she had done that, that's it. You would have been putty in her hands.
But I made a hard decision.
Wow.
And
was that your senior year of high school?
Yeah.
So this potentially was the time where once you graduated, if Mrs. Van Lerkenmerker or whatever her name was, what was her name?
Ventresca.
If Mrs. Ventresca really liked what you did by saying the station ID at the top of the hour, she would keep you and then you would become a full-time employee, yeah?
Well, that's what happened.
That's what you were thinking. And that's what happened.
Yes.
Oh, well, then she should have been impressed with your aspiration to try to find employment after high school graduation, when most kids were probably like, huh? Unless they were going to college. She wasn't going to college either, right? She was just going into the deadly business.
She said that I followed directions. My segues were really good. And I didn't talk more than I was supposed to.
Boy, how times have changed.
Yeah.
If Mrs. Van Truska could hear you now.
That's true. That's true.
There are program directors everywhere saying, what the hell happened to that, Doc?
Yeah. I can think of a couple of program directors that got annoyed with me.
I'm looking at one board right now. I'm looking at the clock and I'm looking at the board. And I'm like, okay. But I've led you astray this segment because I wanted to hear the story.
Yes, and so I was depressed the first hour
because your girl broke up with you.
And then
nice to know you have feelings.
5 o'clock, I started to pick it up. 6 o'clock, I knew it. But 7 o'clock, when I announced, I could almost hear.
Was this your first girlfriend?
No.
Okay.
No, but she was the best of the pack.
Oh.
And I ended up spending a lot of time with her. She was gorgeous. I mean, there's,
And we'll call her Helen.
Yeah. But, back then, that was a very common name.
No, I've had Aunt Helens. I think Helen is a great name. I love it.
You don't hear it anymore.
I like normal names.
But after about kind of having a pity party, suddenly I just felt this empowerment.
You were all revved up with no place to go.
And if the midnight guy hadn't come in, I'd have done his shift too.
Whoa.
And the midnight guy came in about 11.
And you were sad.
Yeah, in a way.
But you knew you were coming back tomorrow.
No, I didn't know yet.
Oh.
I had no idea. All I know is I chose radio
over the girl,
over the high school dance and the girl.
Wow.
And
but the good news is you bounced back into love.
It took me almost a year and a half.
No way. You didn't have a girlfriend for a year and a half?
No.
You didn't date?
Almost 2 years.
You were celibate for 2 years?
Dude, let me tell you something. When you're a teenager and a young man, you're celibate.
Wow.
And when you do what I do, you know, because the radio station was in San Angelo, Texas. I don't know if you ever heard of San Angelo, but if they detect any part of Yankeeism, they treat you like hell. I left there and I went to Del Rio. I loved Del Rio. It broke my heart to leave, but I got a job in San Antonio. And then I came back to the East Coast. And I was thinking, you know, it's been 4.5 years now. I'll bet you she's over me. Or over the situation. Hell no, she's already married. I'm thinking, you're already married? Good God.
She was looking for somebody who was going to marry into the family business.
Yes. And I would be independently wealthy right now.
And she didn't want any of that hassle.
Matter of fact, 30 years ago,
yeah, I
would have been independently wealthy.
So how did you meet your first wife then? I mean, since we were talking about love on the day of love.
That's a good question. But that's the one thing I remember. And, you know, when you slept alone. Because, you know, I kept getting stuck working to 7 to midnight, which is very hard on dating life.
Well, yeah.
It's extremely hard. But
no doubt about that.
On the weekends, we'd have fun. We'd drive over the border. We'd buy $1 bottles of tequila. Drive back and suck them down. I mean, it was being a kid. You know, it was being a kid. But that's my story.
Happy Valentine. Oh, sorry, my drink went down the wrong pipe. Happy Valentine's Day from Doc Holliday.
Yes, that's why.
A man of true love and compassion.
A certain situation comes back to me on the 14th of February. And I turned out...
Did you love Helen?
Yes.
Aw, Doc. Was that the first girl you loved?
I think so.
Was she your true love?
Obviously
Careful
not.
how you answer that.
You know? Obviously not.
She was your first true high school teenage love?
She was my first piece of ass.
Oh, wait. Okay. Okay, so that explains it. So it wasn't really love. It was lust.
A lot of lust involved.
A lot of lust involved.
But that's why when it's Valentine's Day, I get a chill just thinking about all that stuff. And now, years later...
I love how you keep, like, editing that out.
Oh, she's probably got $5 million in the bank. But I wouldn't be able to do what I've done and how would my future have turned out? So I took radio. Got fired a couple of times, 4 times by the same people. And I'm happy to say that I'm glad to be with you guys. Because that woman probably would have divorced me anyway. This is the Doc Show. Coast to coast. 407-498-3193. 407-498-3193. I'm Doc. We'll be back.